Hello there, and welcome to something just a little bit different today. There are some leaks making the round. Let me preface this. I do not think that these are real. There are so many red flags involved in all of this. However, they are making the rounds everywhere. Some big name news sites have picked it up. I've seen it all over social media. Tons of people are talking about this, so let's just take a quick look at the leaks. I am super skeptical, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun to take a quick look at like the screenshots that are allegedly the next Fire Emblem game and kind of go through why I don't think it's real. Okay, so this is the big one. It is allegedly the main character with what I can only describe as Joy-Con hair. It looks awful. That design is very silly. The leak described the main character as male. If it's a male, it's a very thin, scrawny male. I don't know. You can't obviously get much other than the long hair with very, very, very wet signs. As far as what we're seeing here, I would have to assume, should this be real? And again, I'm acting under the assumption that it isn't, but I'm kind of playing devil's advocate for a moment. If this is real, I would have to say this is some kind of monastery segment, possibly a cooking segment. There are some bottles, and there's some kind of a receptionist with no face and a very blurry image, and maybe some like glasses and cookware. It's hard to say. I would say either like some kind of cooking or maybe some kind of inn, but overall, this definitely looks like a fairly expansive segment. I would say probably something akin to the monastery, if I had to take a guess. Unfortunately, the menus are all in Chinese, and I cannot read Chinese, so can't really get much out of that. One thing I will say, the UI across all of these images is very, very simple, and that's a big red flag for me personally. It does look a little bit like the Warriors UI, but it doesn't look anything like the very stylized Three Houses UI. Let's take a look at this. This is the support screen, allegedly. We have these two characters. One of them looks like a Pokemon character, one of them looks a little bit plain, but the plain character seems to be probably an unpromoted Lance Cav, who can promote with a Wyvern Rider, a promoted Axe Cav, who I would have to assume is probably the Jagan of the game. The main lord, this blonde queen, maybe, with a crown, and this character who is allegedly Anna. One big thing I'm noting, again, it looks very similar to the Warriors UI, but like, there are no backgrounds. It's just static, plain gray. If this is real, it's very, very drab looking. I don't think this is... Okay, allegedly, I will say this, allegedly the screenshots are from a very early build, supposedly, but I would again be skeptical of that. What else can we get here? I do like the kind of like flame design. Doesn't really accompany anything. Like I don't see the same thing, like the same motif in this design at all. But it is decent. I also know that there are no S supports here at all, which is another mild red flag. S supports have been kind of a big thing in Fire Emblem for a while. Granted, not all characters have them. Not necessarily disqualifying on its own, but a little bit suspicious. Then we have this list of, I guess, assume this is also the support list, but on a different screen, which has a lot of character designs. I think the character designs look awful. If this ended up being real, I would kind of hate this. Especially these first, like, 4 females here, they all have the same very generic, very anime face, like really, really big anime eyes. They all look like they're maybe 12 to 13 years old. This character is a little bit more interesting. This is the Pokemon character. These two characters, again, back to the same thing. Allegedly, this red-haired one is Anna. Supposedly, the name kind of matches up to Anna, but it's too blurry to see, so I don't know. I do like this design, whatever it is. And then, I don't know, the whole thing just seems very, very generic to me. Like, it strikes me less as Fire Emblem and more as like a very generic gacha game that doesn't really correlate to a series. I would again point out the very, 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 very bland backgrounds. If this is real in any capacity, I really hope that they would have fixed the backgrounds because this looks awful. The character just kind of fades out for no real apparent reason, despite the fact that there's a lot of empty space next to him. Given the amount of characters on the screen, I would say that's probably about 30-ish characters. I counted this earlier. I think it was like 12 to 13 characters. I'm not going to count it again. And the scroll bar looks like it has quite a bit of room, but there's no telling. Then we have this conversation between Mr. Pokemon and the guy from earlier. So they appear to be talking in the most bland background ever. Really, the whole, like, all of these screenshots are just very, very drab and very, very bland. There's no color, there's not really much going on in the background. It's kind of mountains and they're maybe on some kind of bridge. Again, okay, let's take a look at the actual, like, leak for a second. It says allegedly it's a new game. That's kind of obvious. If this were real, it would definitely be something new. Collaboration between IS, Koei Tecmo, and Gust. I don't know much about Gust. Gust heavily sensitive to the visuals. Graphics are an improvement over 3 Houses. Huge red flag there. This game does not look better than 3 Houses. This game looks maybe like a side grade to Warriors, which did not look great. Not seeing it, honestly. Originally intended as an anniversary game to celebrate FE's 30th anniversary, the game has been finished for over a year. If that were the case, why? I would really have to question why they would have it finished for that long and not do anything with it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't really see any logic there. Additionally, if it is finished, why are these allegedly old screenshots and not new screenshots? It's a little bit dicey. I should also point out that this all comes from somebody named Emily Rogers, who, from what I've heard, has a very bad track record, unfortunately. So that's another kind of red flag right there. New character, main character, main lord, has strange red and blue hair. Yeah, we've seen that, definitely. His mother is a dragon. Okay, well, great. That doesn't really tell as much. Fire Emblem does dragons a lot of the time. In the support picture, they appear to be using a sword. I would assume let's entertain this idea again. I would assume probably sword and dragonstone, somewhat like Corrin. I'm, again, very skeptical here. It's not implausible, but it sounds very generic and very general, I guess. It definitely feels like somebody's just kind of copy-pasting ideas from old Fire Emblems. Like, we've kind of done Half Dragon Lords. Again, Corrin. It's not impossible that they repeat the idea, but... new Emblems gimmick allows players to summon FE characters from the past for your squad. That sounds awful. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like Heroes, but in the mainline game. Or it sounds like an extended version of the amiibo functionality from the 3DS games, but either way, if that were a main function of the game, I would be kind of underwhelmed. I would rather have the focus be on the new characters, honestly. Personally, I would rather learn more about a bunch of new characters than about old characters, so not really loving this idea. Let's see if we can find anything else from this leak. This guy says that the FE4 remake rumors are all real. Look at Atelier games. Okay, I can definitely see some similarities between these designs and, like, Atelier. Not that I've played that series, but I can definitely see the resemblance there. There are many new characters, and I believe that people are overreacting. It's a full-on play-style game. Great, but still, I just don't really... I think the idea sounds very, very uninteresting, honestly. Waiting for the direct reveal, I've managed to show a bit. Yeah, this is the other thing I was looking for. Screenshots are quite old and obviously not of great quality. To me, that just reads as they've been called out as fake. Everybody sees that these look really bad, and so the poster is just kind of backpedaling a little bit. I don't know. Like, I've seen so many fake leaks out there over like so many different games, and this just has a lot of big red flags to me. Like, I'll mention it all day. Why would these characters have why would these as backgrounds just be gray and nothing else? Like, when in the history of anything have we ever gotten backgrounds that bad? Like, maybe like on the NES, but not in modern history. Like, let's quickly... Like, this is a support screen from Three Houses. Like, let's... I mean, can you see the difference here? There's like a lot more style. There's a lot more style in the text. The characters have actual portraits and not just generic like pictures of models. I just don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking all of this. I'm like 95% sure that this is all fake. If it is somehow real, then wow, I really hope that they updated a lot of things between this build and whatever we see, because this looks absolutely terrible. The UI just isn't very good. The backgrounds look bad. At best, it looks very like a kind of a knockoff of FE Warriors. For a game that's supposed to look better than Three Houses, this does not look better than Three Houses. This looks worse by a decent degree, and I really dislike these character designs. They all just look very young, and I guess like the moe would be a very good word to describe what these designs look like to me. Like, these eyes are huge. They definitely look like they're out of some kind of really generic, bland anime that I would probably never watch. I don't know. Like, I guess this is all that I can say. Well, I don't like this cursor, like, on all of these pictures, but whatever. It's probably another issue altogether. I would love to know what everybody else thinks. I personally think that this is fake as all hell. But, you know, maybe we got a crazy, wild FE reveal that we never expected from a leak that nobody believes in. So, like I said, I would love to hear everybody else's thoughts as well. Like, do you think this is real? If it is real, what do you think of all these silly designs everywhere that just... Seriously, this looks so bad. I'm sorry. I hate it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just let me know. I would be really curious to see what everybody else thinks. Like, do you want to play the Fire Emblem game where everybody has conversations in the mist and there's no color anywhere to be seen? I personally do not, but I would probably play it regardless, just because I am a sucker for intelligent systems. They've got me. So, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.